Hi, it's Nicole Banks with Nicole's Business Notebook, where I'm bringing together my business besties from throughout the valley so that we can learn what each other does, how we do it, and how we can do better business together. This week, I have DJ Barton on the show, the founder of Levarti, with his business partners. It is an amazing new travel company. They're doing some amazing things, and we're really excited to kind of go a deep dive into who they are, why they wanted to go ahead and start this business in the first place, and what they're passionate about doing here with nonprofits and other companies in the future. So, thank you, DJ, as always, so much for the support and coming out on the show.
Yeah, Nicole, thanks for having me. It's great to be here, and it's an honor to sit next to you today and have a conversation.
100%. So, for those that may not know, you are a sales powerhouse. You've done direct sales, you've done a lot. So, let's start with your experience and kind of what led you to founding Levarti.
Yeah, I've been a business owner and an entrepreneur for over 28 years. I started in the professional career of sales and marketing because I didn't have the desire to go to college. I struggled through high school and I like my freedom. I don't like to be told what to do, when to do, or how to do it. And so I'm super independent and wanted to create my own wealth and more or less eat what I kill concept. And so I got into direct sales at the age of 18.
That's amazing. So, I mean, not going to college, usually, not the way to success. But you obviously have been incredibly successful. So, what are some of your sales tips and tricks that you learned along the way in that first career?
The biggest thing I've learned is being a human first, marketer second, and finding a need and filling it. So when you are in a position where you can solve problems, there's a lot of financial reward on the other side.
Hmm.
And I got turned on to many books at a very young age. Books like Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and just so many others that I really took it to heart. It became my college degree, if you will, is personal development, understanding people, communication, and building wealth and systems and tools and creating leaderships and our leadership teams and duplicating systems where whether you're 18 or 80, anybody could be successful and do it.
I love that. One of the things in, being in your circle, seeing how you work, you always lead with how can I help you? And in that problem solving mindset, you live what you preach. And I love that. Not everyone is obviously as authentic when it comes to that. But, taking that to the sales, many people may not understand why that is such a beneficial way to start things. So can you dive into that process and why you're so passionate about it?
Yeah, no, I started a couple different communities and I wanted to build friendships, relationships, bonds. I wanted to pay it forward. I've always been told your network is your net worth and connection is currency. And a lot of people in the world today deserve and desire more out of whatever they're doing in life, but they don't know what resources are available. And so, literally, August of last year, I started a community and it's a networking community for people that just want to have more, do more, be more, not settle for the just the status quo, if you will, or average. And I know from my 28 years of experience, I've built a ton of relationships, a ton of contacts, and I know that whole concept of 6 degrees of separation. I believe in our world, it's 3 degrees of separation. And I feel like we have the value to serve and deliver to help other people gain their wealth or their belonging in life, whatever that their mission might be, their passion project. And if we can help more people have it come to life, I believe the more you serve, the more you receive. And it's worked out really well for us and for others.
Yeah, no, 100%. Going to your event, Connections and Cocktails, is a breath of fresh air. There's always new people. It's never the same. You always have a great draw of high quality, wonderful people. So, what made you want to actually, commit to, all right, let's do this every week or every month and let's do this. So, what led to
The commitment, the $1 million question. So, yeah, I moved back to Arizona back in the middle of April of 2024, and I started going to other people's networking events, and they were great, and I loved them, and I still go to other events. But I wanted to build something different, something special, something unique, not a card mill mindset. And I love connecting with people. I like a cocktail here and there, and so people loosen up a little bit. and loosen their lips a little bit, get more relaxed
Yep.
over a cocktail. And so it's just a great concept with what we've built, and it's became a monster of a brand. It's grown to over 3,000 people in the last 13 and a half months between all our social media channels. And we've had thousands of people come through our doors. And to your point, too, Nicole, is over 50% of every event that we do is always new people. So we have 50% of people keep coming back, and the other 50% are brand new people. And the people that keep coming back love it because networking is everything. That's what the whole
Yep.
concept is. You don't want to just network with the same people every single month or week and get the same results you're looking for. And so we do draw a high quality group of people, like-minded people. I believe like attracts like, and you are a product of your environment, right? And so I did all this for a couple things. One, to create more connections for other people. We've closed over $3.5 million in the last 13 plus months of closed transactions outside of my business, like just connecting people in our community. They love it, and they know that we're serving and paying it forward. And I've also done a tremendous amount of volume in business through our connections and cocktails.
Yeah, I think that that is, just, the nature of the beast, 3.5 million. I mean, I know that I've done business I haven't even told you about. So, the impact that you have is definitely more than that. And, that 50% new people is, something that you can count on. It's consistent. And so, especially here with some of the other networking groups, it's the same people every time. And it's more of a catch up and a hey, how's it going than hey, let's talk business, let's find opportunities, let's see what we can work on now to move forward. So always looking forward to your events. So for those that may not be familiar, or that 50% that we're talking to that haven't come out yet, I know that you changed locations, but can you share a little bit about the details?
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram or Facebook or meetup.com and just type in connections and cocktails. Typically, we do it in Old Town Scottsdale. It's a great vibe. It's central throughout the entire valley. 90% of the time we do it we do it the last Wednesday every month from 7 to 9, and it's typically at Whiskey Row. We do larger events, like we just did our 1 year anniversary in July. We did it, had over 500 plus people there dressed all white. It was a magnificent event. We're going to be doing a holiday event here coming up very soon at a different location. But the majority of the time there, you can find us on social media everywhere. Make sure you come up and introduce yourself to me so I can learn about you, what your passion projects are, what either I can do or my network can do to serve you to open up many, many doors so you can have more success with what you do.
For sure. And I think that really is the point is, DJ wants you to come up and meet with him, shake his hand, introduce yourself, and really kind of get involved in the group. This isn't one of those things where, it's Oz behind the curtain and you're never going to see him, you're never going to meet him. He's there. He's, the center of the party. You can always tell where DJ is because he's kind of got the circles around him, but fight to get to him, have that conversation. You're not going to regret it. So, obviously we've been talking about cocktails and connections, and it's just one of the many things that you do. So let's talk about Levarti, which I am really passionate about you sharing, and everybody loves travel.
Yes. So many, many verticals. I fell in love with travel, first of all, when I was really young. My father passed away a month before my birthday when I was back at my 7, 8 year old range. And one of the things that I cherished the most was going on vacations with him. He took me to Disney World. He took me to Wisconsin Dells, a bunch of road trips, Taylor's Falls, just spent quality time, the moments that I'll always remember. And when he was tragically taken away from me, those are the things that will always stay with me. And so back in 2015, I got into the travel space, did very well with it, became a top 1% earner in that company. It went out of business because of COVID, and bounced around a little bit trying to figure out my next journey. And a new company popped up in the travel space. I was intrigued by their mission, by their compensation structure, and became the number one producer in 90 days with that company. And as I got closer to the top of that company, I started getting into the inner circle meetings of management. It was a publicly traded company, and the owners and executives just had made some promises that had no intentions in keeping. And they actually gave me what I call a hush money contract to stay quiet,
Yep.
and they'll pay me a salary above and beyond my commissions. just to keep building, knowing that it was false perception at the end. So I took a couple days, stepped back, and resigned from that company. Walked away from my income from scratch to no income overnight. And some friends of mine that also were incredibly successful in the travel space for many years and traditional businesses said, "Hey, why don't we build a company for the field from the field's perspective and make this more of a community build versus a solo build?" And so we started Levarti as a pre-launch September 18th of 2023. And we started with one product. It was a booking engine. Most people don't know this, but when you go to a public site, whether it's Travelocity, Booking.com, Priceline, you are actually the product. Meaning, when you go book a hotel, a resort, a rental car, a cruise, whatever it might be, they're making commissions on every booking, but you are doing all the work.
Right.
And so what we did is we said, hey, let's strip those commissions out so people can travel and get up to 70% off all their vacations. And let's just charge a subscription, because the biggest trend in the world is the rise of the subscription economy. Think of Netflix,
Hmm.
Amazon, Hulu, the list goes on. So we have we're being called the Netflix of travel. You can get access to our booking engine, $25 a month. You can pay annually, $250 for the year. And that's what we started with. That was our main product. We love it. We have a customer loyalty program where we give you a 7-night, 8-day hotel credit valued up to $1,500 once you pay your membership in whole for the entire year. But then back in 2024, February, we fully launched. And in September, we started rebranding and scaling and fine tuning. We also added our own host travel agency. So we now train and teach people how to be successful home-based travel agents. Now, what I really want to talk most about, Nicole, about our opportunity right
Hmm.
now is the mission and crusade that we're on to help many, many nonprofits, employee benefits, influencers, associations, because this is going to help millions and millions of people to get to their goals and whatever that may be. We created what's called a partnership program. And I've been working on this for the last 5 months and kind of disappeared from the public eye within our company because I just kind of had to walk away from operations so I could figure this out. And we figured it out in a really, really big way. I'm very passionate about nonprofits, many different types of nonprofits, whether it's dealing with kids, whether it's dealing with battered shelters, or military nonprofits. The list goes on. And one of the biggest things I've realized is that most nonprofits have the heart to serve. They're givers. They have a huge mission. They got the Red Cross on their back, but they're terrible at raising money. They're
Right.
afraid to ask for the money, right?
Yep.
And I love asking for the money because we're going to get it one way or the other to help them out. And so we created a partnership program. And what we did is we discounted the partnership program, for example, from $25 a month down to $20 a month to our basic level Passport Light booking engine. And what I do, and by the way, this costs them nothing. In fact, it costs them not to work with me.
Right.
So what I mean by that is we spend with our development team, and we get your branding kit, your media kit. We create your landing page, and it's your look and feel powered by Passport Light. And we sell it at $20 a month or $200 for the year. You get a 2 months discount. And we give you all the tools, all the resources that you need for your nonprofit, for example, phone scripts, email, text campaigns, social media, branding, all the things you need. We'll do live interviews, live demos. We're going to help you bring in revenue to your company. But what we're going to do is a 50-50 rev share where we give you 50% of that $20. So you get $10, we get $10. So that way we can pay our employees, customer service, and staff to support the growth of your future nonprofit or association or employee benefit company or that influencer, whatever that may be. And Nicole, it has taken off in a massive, massive way. I don't get any rejection. I don't get any resistance. Everybody I talk to loves what we're doing. They see the mission. They want to lock arms with us because they know we have the confidence and the wherewithal to get to their end game with them. And it's just a lot of fun. And I'm glad that you're a part of this mission with us because you have obviously tons of credibility. You know, a lot of people, and a lot of people need what we have, and it doesn't cost them. And, I always ask a nonprofit if there was a way that I could help increase your donations and it doesn't cost you any money, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to hear more about what we're doing?
Yeah, I love that. So for, everything that you're doing with nonprofits, obviously there's a million different nonprofits, a million different missions, and you're basically just helping them to do that better. So for those that may be confused about how the program works, that $20, are they, is it just the people that are in the nonprofit that are paying? Is it going out to their donors? Can you explain more about what the nonprofits portion or side of things would be, to help support the program?
Yeah, so let's do a theoretical example. So let's say that you have the Knitwork Foundation, and
One day.
we create you a landing page with your logo, your branding kit, your mission, your sales copy, powered by Passport Light.
Right.
We give you the free ebook to help you with all the marketing strategies and ideas, what to say, and all the different ways that you communicate with people.
Hmm.
You send out your link. They're going to pick either the $20 a month or $200 for the year. At the end of 12 months, they're going to get up to a 7-night, 8-day hotel credit that's valued at $1,500. We got resorts all over the world. We pay for the resort, your hotel stay. You just pay the taxes, which you would have done anyways, right?
Right.
So then what happens is they put their credit card information in. The money comes to our company, and on the 15th of the next month, we reconcile. So, for example, if you go out and you're partnered up with us in the month of October, you go bring in 100 new clients. On November 15th, we reconcile, and we're going to give you 50% of all the money that came in for that month. And then the November, we'll pay you on December 15th. So we bring in $20. You're going to get $10 towards your nonprofit. So let me just be super conservative for a minute. Let's say over the first 90 days, we help you generate 150 donors. They're all paying $20. You get $10 times 150. If you do the math and multiply it, that's $18,000 a year in reoccurring income. See,
Correct.
what the biggest problem that we're solving right now for nonprofits is they're caught in the old way of capital raise. They're constantly reaching out to existing donors.
Yep.
They're doing fundraisers. They're doing galas. They're doing, silent auctions, which all the above sounds great, but people are tired of it.
Hmm.
And so what I do is I teach the nonprofit how to flip the switch. And I call it the give to get method. So instead of just taking from, all the donors, and yes, they feel good giving you money, but it's exhausting to
Hmm.
constantly get a call for more money. Would you
Right.
agree?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. So when we flip the switch and the give to get concept, what if the nonprofit said, well, let me give something to these donors to get something, which is the money.
Right.
So now you can save up, you can buy, the nonprofit can give you a travel booking engine, strip the commissions out, you save up to 70% on your hotels, etc. You're paying $20 a month or 200 for a year. If you travel 3 or 4 nights or more a year, you're going to save more than what it cost you to be a part of this program. So now the donation's really not costing you anything.
Right.
So you're saving more than the 200 a year. You're getting a 7-night vacation out of it. 50% of your proceeds are going to the nonprofit that you absolutely love and adore and want to, promote
Support.
and
Yeah.
support and all the things. And you get to go on family vacations. You get to build community. You get to create memories. You get to go see the world, check things off your list, go see your kids traveling sporting events or school events or business trips, whatever you're doing. And you're going to save way more than the cost of admission. We made it a complete no brainer, an irresistible offer.
I love that. So, obviously you're passionate about working with nonprofits. Is there like a ideal nonprofit that you're looking to work with? Is there, you'd hope to have so many, patrons, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, our goal is to have 1 million subscribers in the next 12 months. So obviously, bigger the better. However, we don't want to leave anybody behind, right? So ultimately, we want to work with 501(c)s that we believe in their mission. You can tell they believe in their mission. And, ultimately, the mindset is if you're brand new, you got to remember we're putting all the initial cost up front, right? And so we want to make sure that you've got a track to run on. Ultimately, our goal for you is to at least get 150 donors in the first 90 days. Now, getting your website dialed in and signed up is just the starting point. That's the starting line with what we do. That's where the work begins for us and you, because we just
Hmm.
don't go sign you up and say, all right, good luck, go do it. We're actually helping you. We're pushing you forward to success. We're going to give you the scripts. We're going to give you the tools. We're going to give you exactly what you need to say, how to say it and position it. We're going to train you on how to lead with your emotion and your story, because facts tell, stories sell. And you're going to have somebody that's done a lot of sales, built tons of companies, done very well, helped lots of people do other well. And we're going to give you all of that experience to help you do well with your nonprofit.
That's fantastic. I love that it's mission forward, and it's not just a set it and forget it. You're actually working with them elbow to elbow. Nonprofits are great about what their mission is, but like we've talked about, entrepreneurs not necessarily are great at selling themselves at the beginning. And so, to have that sort of backup behind you, a direct sales, expert, it really, can help to make an easy yes. And getting that money back to the nonprofits obviously benefits them too. So, yeah, I think it's a win, 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 win.
It really is. And we're excited about it because the more you serve people, the more you give, and the more you help people get what they want in life. We've all heard this. You automatically get what you want. And there's no downside with what we do. I guess the only downside is you're not working with us yet.
Love that. So, how do they work with you?
Get in touch with Nicole and she can connect you with me. That's probably the easiest way.
Yep.
That's probably what I would recommend. And then obviously you can find me all over social media. LinkedIn is the real DJ Barton. Facebook is DJ Barton as well as LinkedIn. But ultimately, reach out to Nicole. She'll connect us. And that way we can vet you. You can vet us to see if there's a mutual working relationship.
100%. And there's always connections and cocktails.
Absolutely. Come hang out, connect, have a cocktail. I promise you, you'll leave that event asking when the next one is, because it's very humbling to have people come up to me at my events going, this is one of the best events I've ever been to. Thank you for putting this together.
Yep, 100%. Thank you so much for taking the time, DJ, to come on to share what Levarti's doing. Obviously, Connections and Cocktails is one of my favorite networking events besides my own. And, definitely a highlight of my month. So thank you again so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Keep rocking.
Always do. All right. So, this is another episode of Nicole's Business Notebook, where we're bringing together the power players throughout the Valley so that we can learn from each other, help each other, find these opportunities to help even nonprofits and all do better business together. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.